Some of that experience to further his own career.
Yeah, you always learn from experienced coaches. They're at the opposite ends of their coaching journeys. It's the first team position for Thomas Scholes, having come through the youth ranks, did an impressive job with Kerala Blasters, and that's one of the reasons Sporting Delhi have gone with a coach who can bring through the youth, and very youthful players, and now they've started to have a little bit of experience with their foreign players, and they've realised that that's what's needed to keep them in the hunt this season, so they can pull away from that sort of relegation zone.
It's a very experienced Jamshedpur lineup. Pranay Halder, Pratik Chowdhury, Albino Gomes behind them, and of course the foreigners, Messi Bully. We know all about him. He spent all last season, played at the Kerala Blasters previously. And then there's the youngsters, Sanan, who's been superb so far, as always. Really came of age a couple of seasons ago in the ISL. Gerald Islam is the referee. A debut ISL season for him. He was in charge of Odisha against Chennai. Comes from Assam. A big moment for him as well, taking India's top flight games for the first time this season. Sporting Club Delhi, of course, who took over the reins left by Hyderabad, relocated to Delhi. Stephen Eze and a slightly smaller Gugu with a coin toss, but Stephen Eze, you know, he's a threat at both ends. We saw that already. I mean, that goal that he scored against Interkashi just got in there and the ball hit him on the thigh and went in. Didn't know anything about it, but he was in the right place.
He's always been that sort of a player ever since he's come into the Indian Super League. It threatened both boxes, and especially with teams nowadays using set plays as primary means of scoring goals. The long throws, corners, it's a really valuable asset. I think it's be key to how their success this season. If they can keep him fit, they're going to be very, very difficult to break down, as they've shown already with the number of clean sheets they've had. And they've got the most clean sheets in the league at the moment. 3 already out of 5 games. And that's what makes it very difficult to break them down, and that's where Thomas Scholes and likes of Matthew Babovic, Chungamar, are going to have a tough task getting past Stephen Eze and Pratik Chowdhury.
Well, what can you say about Owen Coyle? Was a wonderful player in his playing career, over 600 appearances, 250 goals. And those successes transferring into his managerial career as well. Of course, he is missing Mehdi Talal at the moment. In fact, Talal is the only Jamshedpur player to score in the first half this season. Scored that very early goal in their opening game against Mohammed in the 1-0 win. That goal coming just 9 minutes in. But as a contrast to Delhi, Jamshedpur have also been much better in terms of goal scoring, particularly in the second half. There is a man making a first start tonight, Ousmane Fane, the Frenchman. Came on against Mumbai with a quarter of the game to go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, it's another intriguing match to kick off an intriguing match week. Sporting Club Delhi in the red and black. Change strip for Jamshedpur tonight of all white. Sporting Club Delhi will be keen to impress. It's been raining here. The pitch will be a little bit slick, might add an extra dimension to the game. It's quite warm and humid at the moment as well. We'll see who makes the strongest start out of these two teams. Early touch for Nora Fernandez in goal. Punjab played here just a few days ago.
Yeah, the surface the other night in the Punjab game against FC Goa didn't look the best. Showers that we had this afternoon in Delhi certainly helped the surface. It's difficult for some of these grounds which haven't seen a lot of action over the years to be maintained to the standards we've become accustomed to. That's always going to be the challenge for Sporting Delhi. You've got to build everything, not just the players, the whole ecosystem around the club.
Tashikawa's ball over the top, rather towards Messi Bully, but Ribeiro was there to completely tidy up and nod it back to his keeper. Scored a couple of goals in the Super Cup. Rafael Messi Bully scored the consolation, as it turned out to be, against North East United from the penalty spot. Missing Vinci Barreto as well. One of only 3 red cards in the previous 35 matches this season. Sent off against Intakashi. Was that a nudge in the back of Messi Bully, which gives Jamshedpur a free kick, and that's what he's good at. He'll draw the fouls. Ribeiro was sticking tightly to him.
You can see that's a clear style of play, maybe to do with the conditions, maybe to do with the surface. That Jamshedpur trying to go into Messi Bully directly from the back. And this is where you have to be careful, because it's a real challenge for Ribeiro as well as Alan Saji.
Nicolas Stojanovic with a free kick. Fernandez opted to punch that one. The referee will just halt things with Alex Saji down. Alex Saji, one of the players who moved across from Hyderabad. They've shared the goals around between themselves this season. Jamshedpur, Talal scored in the first game, Vinci, Eze with a couple, Ray Tashikawa and Messi Bully.
And Nora Fernandez just coming out, all eyes on the ball. Good strong punch. In the process, absolutely clattered into Alan Saji.
Thomas Chors was caretaker of the Kerala Blasters for the final 12 games last season, along with TJ Purushothaman. It's a big chance for him. He's been in Indian football a long time. So he was assistant at Mohan Bagan as long ago as 2019, so pretty much a young coach at just 33 years of age. Heavy touch from Gogu, the captain. Mark Zoe. Ray Tashikawa. Pratik. Just that one solitary point, but it would have felt like a win having gone 2-0 down at Mumbai. It's a little bit sticky over in that corner with Manveer trying to get that one across. Away by Pranay Halder.
That's going to be a familiar pattern as well from Jamshedpur, to get the ball into the wide areas. Pace, likes of Sanan and Manveer. Especially without that sort of creativity of Madhi Talal. Probably be a little bit more direct in terms of the style of play, getting the ball out to the way early, and get more crosses into the box. Makes sense to play to the advantage of the players you have with the likes of Messi Bully and Ray Tashikawa get involved as much. Probably have to play a little bit closer to Messi Bully to pick a lot of these second balls. But at the moment, haven't managed to handle Messi. It's about the second or third foul committed against him, and that just allows Jamshedpur to regroup, get possession higher up the field.
Nikhil Bala. Pranay. Showed too much of it to Joseph. Good strength by Joseph just to stand his ground. Early ball in from Gogu. Well defended. Jamshedpur, Manoj and Babovic got the goals in Mumbai, having trailed 2-0 in that game, as we said. Manoj getting a goal in first half stoppage time, which would have just made Thomas Chors' half-time talk that little bit better, and as we indicated earlier, just tightening up defensively in the second half, having conceded all but 2 of their goals in the first half. Fane. Fane signed from Persik in Indonesia. Had he stayed, he would have been teammates with John Terrell and Adrian Luna, who were both playing at Persik on loan. Alex Saji just runs out of play there as he tried to find Gogu.
Yeah, you can see even the club management and the coaching staff deciding that they need a player like Usman Fane, and we can probably play in front of that back foot, protect that space in front of us, and also could, if need be, a makeshift centre back. And those are the kind of players that become vital in the ISL, where you have a player who can play multiple positions, especially with only 4 foreigners allowed on the field. Teams have to make sure you have someone who's a specialist in the position, got experience in this league. If you're going into new markets, have to, maybe that little bit of versatility is an extra added advantage. Like the journeyman career, like Shrewsbury, Kidderminster, Oldham, as well as in Malaysia. It's followed you around, Mark.
I was actually quite surprised when I looked and saw that he played for Kidderminster Harriers, which was a little bit strange, considering some of the other teams he's played for. Here he's on the ball now. Fane gets a shot away, just in front of Albino Gomes, who makes the save, but that's the first shot on target. The new man looking to make an immediate impact.
We were just talking about his defensive capabilities and why he's been signed. Maybe he just heard us and said, I've got something else in my locker.
Good ball to Reitashi Kawa, who could also hit from outside the box as well, straight at Fernandez, trading shots. The side's already scored one great goal this season, Reitashi Kawa. That was straight at the goalkeeper though, but that's a little bit more promising for both teams in an attack sense.
Yeah, Reitashi Kawa was one of those players, just really tidy on the ball. As you said, pops up with goals and he just never scores a simple one. Always contender for a goal of the month. He certainly was. Absolute beautiful curler into the top corner. The last one he scored. I think that's going to be crucial about how Sporting Delhi pick up Reitashi Kawa, because he manages to ghost into the box. With all the focus and attention on Messi Bully, a lot of times just goes unnoticed as he drifts into that space. Operating more as a sort of number 10 today.
It's fouled by Nikola Stojanovic on Agustin. So they never scored too many goals, Jamshedpur, but they're very good defensively. 3-1-0 wins and a 2-1. Like a Sergio Libera, who said he likes to go out and try and win by 5 or 6, so he calls happy just to get himself in front. That's Manbir trying to squeeze that round the defender. Udu. Now Alex Saji. Nicol Bala's header. Bounces just away from Sanan. Header. Salah just gets there ahead of Alex Saji, nicks the ball away from him, needs someone in the middle, there's no one there. It was caught under the feet of Manoj, still not cleared. And eventually somehow Delhi managed to get that one away, but Owen Coyle, I think, disappointed there weren't more white shirts in the penalty area.
Yeah, both fullbacks getting themselves in trouble. Should with his right foot, uncomfortable to do so. Manoj Mohammed fluffed it with his right foot, fluffed it again with his left, just pure panic, unfortunately. And he just couldn't get that ball out of his feet.
Manoj redeeming himself with the challenge. Nikola Stojanovic, great looking ball in, it's just too high though for Stephen Eze, who just barged into Alex Saji. That's the style though, you know what you're going to get with Stephen Eze when he goes forward.
Yeah, it's good work from Alex Saji. It's going to be tough to compete in the air against Stephen Eze, but you don't have to win the ball. It's going to make it as difficult as possible for Stephen Eze to get a clear header.
Chance of a break, Babovic. For the first time he's really touched the ball. Babovic still on his feet. eventually falls to Agustin. Shot like power though, straight at Albino Gomes.
He's really opened up. Babovic scored a wonderful goal against Mumbai, showing glimpses of those twinkle toes. He's got that ability to just sort of drift past defenders. He doesn't really appear as one of those strikers who's got a little acceleration or turn of pace.
Babovic and Stojanovic on opposite sides tonight. They were at Interkashi last season. Here's Mokzo. Manoj goes into the book for that challenge. Nicola. Now Stephen Eze. So a little bit of space here. Delhi just sitting off him a little bit. Has started every game so far. We mentioned 8 of the 11 have started every game for Jamshedpur this season so far. Great Ashikawa. There's an air of patience about the way Jamshedpur build things up. Nikhil Bala. Manvir hugging that touchline. Another dangerous ball in, but again, nobody far enough forward. Just needed to be maybe around the penalty spot where Messi Bully was. Comfortably taken by Fernandez.
Yeah, just needed someone gambling on that near post. The likes of Messi Bully, he's always going to sort of peel out into a position because he fancies his chances in the air to beat the opposing centre back.
Sanan again. Ray just swung at it, tried to hit it first time, but ball just ended up ballooning up in the air. Joseph trying to test the pace of Stephen Eze, but he's too clever for that. He followed Owen Coyle to Queen's Park in Scotland, Stephen Eze, after leaving Jamshedpur the last time. Sanan. Mokzo. Eze and Pratik to start building from the back once again. Nikola Stojanovic playing that role just in front of the back four, looking to be the creator. Mokzo. Bala. Good ball down the line again to Manvir. Just lost his footing slightly over on that far side as Agustin was challenging. I think he's gone for a corner.
It looks like maybe just took a little nick off of Augustine. Yeah, there's no contact from Manvir as the ball went out.
Nikola Stojanovic, 9 goals in 22 appearances for Interkashi in their promotion season. Eze forward again. There's a bit of pushing going on, Manvir getting involved. Referee right in the thick of it. Stephen Eze saying, look, just think about it. Don't get stupid yellow cards. This happens in the penalty area. How many times do we say to, or we think we should say to referees, look, just let the game go, and if you see it as a foul, give it whichever way you see it.
And that's probably what Stephen Eze is trying to tell him. The ball is going to be aimed towards the likes of Messi Bully and Stephen Eze. There's no need for Manvir to be taking away that advantage by giving the referee an easy decision to just blow his whistle and give a free kick.
Finally, we can get the corner. In swinger from Stojanovic, headed away by Gugu. Nikhil Bala to re-deliver this. What a great ball in. Joseph, heavy touch though, allows Sanan to win it back for Jamshedpur. Mokzo. Another new addition for Jamshedpur this season, Mark Zoe, was at East Bengal, having spent a large portion of his early career at Hyderabad. He's already picked up 3 yellow cards this season, though. It's just something he needs to take out of his game a little bit. Eze's header. Jamshedpur having more of the ball, but shots-wise it's all fairly even at the moment. That'll be a free kick to Jamshedpur.
A little bit concerned for Thomas Shorts. The number of set pieces they've given away every time Messi Bully's got on the ball. Had to foul him to try and regain possession. And Nikola Stojanovic, constantly keep giving him set pieces. He's going to eventually test the goalkeeper, cause problems for Sporting Delhi.
He's going to go for goal here, dipping and just going wide though. Had to be pretty special to beat Nora Fernandez from that sort of range. Nikola Stojanovic.
So half shot, half sort of pass into the box. Just took the pace off of it, and Stephen, it wasn't too far away from that where the ball dipped.
Giving the ball away again, it'll tug back on Nikola.
It's a little bit naive in the defending to give away another set piece. This time Augustine, he's facing the wrong way. He's not going anywhere. You have the support. Fane was coming in. And this is a better angle for the left-footed delivery from Nikola Stojanovic. In-swinger. That could cause problems for Delhi.
A lot of young players in this Delhi side. Augustine's only 21, a little bit of inexperience, just giving the free kick away. And I hope that one of these doesn't cost them. Nikola Stojanovic with a delivery once again. Header from Pranay Halder, bobbling around, might fall for Pratik. Put away to the delight of the home fans. And Babovic almost getting onto that loose ball. Twisted forward towards Messi Bully. Alex Saji wins the header. Joseph, lovely ball out towards Augustine on the far side. Bala got across well though. Thomas George felt there might have been a foul in there. He might have gone for a corner. See in a moment. Just flicked off Nikhil Bala on its way out. They've come out in numbers today. I think there was something like 12,000 tickets made available, and they were sold out according to social media. Even 12,000 in this stadium looks quite lost though, but it's a good start for Delhi in their new home. Eze and Ribeiro going at it. Ribeiro, referee spotted a foul, and Thomas Chors doesn't quite know where the foul was, but free kick to Jamshedpur.
That's a pretty good job of Delhi to get 12,000. Not stadium known for huge fan support. So they've really gone and done a lot of work behind the scenes as a club to make sure the return of football to Delhi. It's a new look side. It's a good way to bring back the fans. Delhi's always had decent support when games are played at the Ambedkar Stadium. The stadium's just a little bit too big for football in India.
Tackle out by Chungahama. Augustine twisting and turning. Can't get the cross in. No Fane. Budu. Gogu. Some white shirts in front of him. Might still get the ball across. Hesitation. Babovic can't get a touch on it. And slammed into the roof of the net by Augustine. By Joseph, sorry. From close range. And the hesitation from the goalkeeper caused the problems. But well played Augustine, who got the ball across. Two defenders in front of him. And Joseph Sunny stabs into put Sporting Club Delhi in front at home. What a moment for him. 1-0.
Talk about the job of getting the fans in, and this is what the fans wanted to see. A goal from the home side. Gugui did wonderfully well, but it was that mistake from Albino, just dropping it out in the danger area. How many times have we seen his keepers spilling the ball back in the dangerous areas? And that flick from Babovic landed perfectly into the path of Joseph Sani. He did what he should do from close range, just put that ball into the back of the net, lifted it expertly over the likes of Nikhil Bala, much to the delight of these home fans at the Jhelum Stadium in Delhi.
Well, it's only the fourth goal Jamshedpur have conceded this season. Scored his first senior goals last season for Hyderabad against Jamshedpur and against Mohammedan, so 2 of his 3 have come against the Red Miners. Just the start Thomas Chors would have wanted. Go in front against East Bengal, of course. Long way to go though. Alex Saji. Cleared away as far as Mark Zoe, who keeps the ball in play. Farning. Stabbed out of play by Stephen Eze.
Yeah, that's where we can see the evolution of Sporting Delhi. We've seen that they can mix it with the big boys. Scored against East Bengal, now scored against a team that was gunning to go top of the table. The question's always, have they got that ability to hold on to a lead? It's a really impressive comeback in the last game. I'd say they kept a clean sheet in the second half against Mumbai. And that's something that, speaking of the players at the club, they feel a lot of work has to go in, like Safane, Hudu and others, are going to help maintain that sort of defensive solidity, compactness, just make them a little bit tougher to break down, especially when you're playing with a lot of young players. Nerves can get the better of them.
Messi Bully on the charge forward again, looking for Manvir, away by Manoj. Woodleaf Sporting Club Delhi a couple of places in the table. They've got an inferior goal difference to a couple of the teams around them. Tashikawa felt there was a little nick on the edge of the penalty area. Referee gave nothing. This is Babovic, closed down by Pratik. He tries to get away from him. Bala, but the referee pulls him back. Babovic.
Game for Sporting Delhi.
Free kick to Sporting Club Delhi will be taken towards Alex Saji. Took a touch of football player, I think it would be a corner.
It's good pressure from Sporting Delhi. That's what they have to do. Still trickling down. Maybe those are the conditions made it a little bit different. Maybe just get the push that he needed. Puts that ball will have to go on as a goalkeeping error.
Bobbled around in front of him. Prane couldn't get it clear. Babovic couldn't get a touch before Joseph Sani did. Right to the back towards Babovic. Doesn't catch it cleanly this time. Albino does gather. Just pulled away and gave yourself some space there, Babovic, but couldn't hit the target. Prane Halder. Been taken a bit quick.
Becomes all the more important now, especially when you have teams with long throw specialists.
Nicola Stojanovic once again to deliver the free kick. Jesse Bully in amongst the red shirts. Elevation once again is headed away by Manoj. Just needed a little bit more loft on that from Nicola Stojanovic to reach the big man in the middle. Nikhil Bala. Looks better. Headed on by Pratik, but Fernandez will come quickly off his line to get there before Messi Bully.
Yeah, I'm sure that's one thing that Owen Cole will speak to his players at half-time. A lot of set-piece opportunities in the final third against Sporting Delhi. The delivery just hasn't been up to the standards that one would expect. It's the likes of Nicola Stojanovic, we know what he's capable of.
Joseph. Lovely ball out to Agustin, looking to take on Nikhil Bala. Pudu. Blocked by Mark Zoe. Now Reita Shikawa to try and get Jamshedpur moving forward, trailing by a goal to nil. Sanan.
The deflection off of the keeper, off of the heels of Babovic as he tried to control it. But Joseph Sani doing the right thing, just putting his foot through the ball. And he needed to get that elevation just to get it over the two defenders that were tracking back, just trying to cover the goal line. He just lifted it expertly over the likes of Pratik as well as Nikhil Barla. I have to say, they kind of deserve it in terms of the ambition they've shown tonight. Sporting Delhi, and they've been lucky that Jamshedpur just haven't been at the races at the moment.
You haven't really got started. Sure, Thomas Jaws will probably feel this is his side's best first half performance so far. But they know that Jamshedpur will come up with a response, so Coyle won't want to lose two in a row, that's for sure. Jamshedpur made it through to the semi-finals last year, beaten over two legs by Mohun Bagan. Messi Bully. Eze. Won 4 of their opening 5 games last season as well. It was a very good start for Jamshedpur. Chipped in by Sanan. Namde was arriving, but arriving too heavily for the referee's liking.
It's amazing what an impact that little drinks break can have. When we talk about coaches giving instructions at halftime, obviously these little breaks help the coaches to give information, and immediately it's a mess. That's maybe almost certain that's one of the things that Owen Coyle must have been speaking to the players in that little break, talking about you need to get more numbers in the box when we're getting the ball in the areas. We need to get more balls in the box when we get them into wide areas where playing backward sides and keeping possession and then wasting possession. This is where they have to play back to front quickly, almost just up and
in the thick of it once again. Nikhil Bala tried to skip around his man, Pratik. Trying to keep the pressure on now, Jamshedpur. Nicola Stojanovic, better looking ball in. Reita Shikawa can't quite get there. Just blocked off. It was good defending. Great ball in, but good defending.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Get the ball into the wide areas, get the likes of Stojanovic onto his favoured left foot. And look at that, numbers in the box on this occasion. So on the focus on Messi Bully, you can allow Reita Shikawa to just ghost in. And this is the previous one of the goalkeeper pushing the ball away from danger, as one should. Nora Fernandez doing a good job to keep that. To parry that to safety.
Well, that comes Afane. Nikola Stojanovic just loses control. Now Babovic to try and get Sporting Club Delhi moving forward again. Got Gogu with him. He tried to release that one early, just took a deflection, I think, of Mark, so sent it through to Albino, but looking lively on the break. Sporting Delhi when they get the chance.
It's certainly interesting to see the way Sporting really choosing to attack. Gogu providing a lot more width as a right side fullback compared to Manoj Mohammed on the opposite flank. Just because they're playing a little bit more narrow, the midfielders on the right hand side for Sporting Delhi, playing a little bit more narrow, making it difficult for Jamshedpur with that extra man in midfield. I think the fact that Sanan hasn't really been helped by his fullback. Mark Sottenway hasn't really got himself into positions where he can create a 2v1 and exploit the fact that Gogo is pushing further forward.
Saji looking long. Manoj throws it again, but not too much on it. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Joseph Sunny's goal separates the two teams here in Delhi. Sporting Club Delhi, remember, still looking for a first win of the season. Just a point to their name so far. Chunga Hamar. Lovely ball and a lovely chase here for Agustin, who gets there ahead of Pratik. Chunga Hamar just marshalled by Pranay Halder. Alex Saji. Pace about the way they're playing the ball around Delhi as well, which is good to see. Gogu, Chunga Hamar in towards Babovic. Albino Gomes is there though to pluck the ball out of the air, but another good move from the home side.
Yeah, once again the right flank offering a lot of joy for Sporting Delhi. The frustration creeping into the Jamshedpur players. Masiburi on this occasion adjudged to have fouled Ribeiro. He's allowing Sporting Delhi to just slow the game down, take a little bit of the sting out of. There's a little bit of a resurgence from Jamshedpur immediately after that drinks break. That's what one would expect. Certainly, I think if things stay this way, the Jamshedpur side will be in for a rollicking from Owen Coyle at half-time. Certainly just haven't looked like an Owen Coyle side that lacked the effort, any kind of pace in terms of the way they're playing.
Slight miscontrol from Manvir. Played by Ribeiro. It's a good ball as well to Joseph. It's not such a good ball though. In between Babovic and Agustin. And there's the applause from his coach though. Space again for Joseph to work in. Babovic. Agustin. Chunga Hamar. Good play again from Delhi. Just over the head of Babovic, away by Eze. Nicola loses the ball on the edge of his own area. Well, went back by Agustin. There's a real determination about Delhi. Chunga Hamar bursting into the box, just overrun it slightly. They'll be disappointed, but they're really working for each other, this Delhi side. A real determination, as we said.
Yeah, wonderful feed from Chunga Hamar. It starts with a nutmeg and then dances past a couple of defenders, and I think just the surface is the better of him, and he just couldn't keep that ball in.
Now a chance at the other end. Sanan was tracing and turning. Got right underneath it. What a chance. Owen Coyle knows that was the moment for Jamshedpur to get level. And Mohamed Sanan, a chance to put his name in lights. He's fluffed his line straight over the top. What a chance.
Great footwork from Sanan once he got himself in that position. Right idea, trying to lift it over the keeper. Just got a little bit too much. You'd be disappointed from that distance. You have to hit the target. Did the hard part, just couldn't apply the finishing touches.
Stojanovic. Manvir. Jamshedpur looking to finish this first half strongly now. Stojanovic looking to get to the byline. It's another good ball in. A slight misunderstanding. Nora came out. Ribeiro was behind him and he's saying communication, call for the ball. Fortunately, the defender was there in the way.
Yeah, this is where you just see Ribeiro just saying he needed a little bit of communication from his goalkeeper. He needed a shout. And as a defender, you're always going to make sure if you don't hear anything, you deal with the threat.
Again, Nikola can't miss out the first man headed away by Babovic. Jamshedpur have scored more of their goals in the second half, as we said earlier on. Sporting Club Delhi have been more defensive-minded in the second half. That goes through to Nora Fernandez again, and Stephen Eze, another wasted journey forward. Joseph Sunny's 21st mini goal separates the teams. It's just gone out of play again for Augustine. Right in front of Thomas Chores. I'm sure we'll be delighted with his first half performance from his team, but he'll be well aware that there's another 45 minutes to come. Hamar. He's had a good half. Chunga Hamar making his first start for Sporting Club Delhi. Appeared in all 4 games off the bench previously. Another player that followed the club to Delhi from Hyderabad. Foul by Ribeiro on Ray Tashikawa.
Just a few too many of these, but so far it's just not working out. Maybe get somebody else on it, give a little bit more variety.
Fane's first start brings him the first yellow card. Joseph. Fane chasing back. Gets it just too far ahead of Babovic. It was just out of his stride. Babovic needed to be pulled back maybe a yard or so more. And
opportunity with the full.
Sanan. Well, there were 3 around. He's still got the ball across. Messi Bully can only fire the ball straight into the air. And he's adjudged to a foul. Nora Fernandez gives Sanan a thumbs up. It looked as though it might have fallen for Manvir. Owen Coyle's not convinced it was a foul. He should know as a striker. I'm sure he challenged many goalkeepers in his time, but they are a protected species, of course.
In Owen Coyle's days, you could do anything you wanted to the goalkeeper. But on this occasion, Messi Bully fluffed it completely on the first occasion. That for me is it's a fair challenge. The keeper's gone up. He's got the advantage of using his hands. Messi Bully's gone up, and he's obviously can only use his head to try and out-jump the goalkeeper. And there's going to be contact between the two of them, but that's not a foul. Messi Bully hasn't gone in and pushed the goalkeeper. You have to allow for a certain amount of contact, I feel, between goalkeepers and players, and the goalkeeper clearly has the advantage with the fact that he can use his arms, and that's an opportunity where he should have just got a strong punch. If that happened at training, you'd just say play on. And the players would probably say to Nora Fernandez, get in the gym then, if you can't deal with that.
So if anything, he jumped into Messi bully almost from the one angle we saw there, but referee only gets one chance to see it, of course. Hoisted long again towards Babovic. Tactics there though. Well played by Stephen Eze. Ricocheting around, he stayed in play. That was going to go out, but now a chance for Mark Zoe to come forward. 3 minutes added time at the end of the first half. It's a first half that seems to have gone quite quickly. The pace of the game has been good. Nickel Bala. Looking for Messi bully. Just keeps the ball in play, but was always stretching to get any pace on that. Maybe just needed a little bit of a glare towards Nickel Bala.
Yeah, that quality in the final third has been missing from Jamshedpur. Wonder whether it's just a case of them missing the likes of Little, whether it's the playing conditions being a little bit difficult for them to get to grips. See, they get pretty accustomed to playing on a good surface in Jamshedpur.
Only down by Messi bully. Tashikawa getting right underneath that one. It's interesting to note that in 24 league games last season, Jamshedpur only scored 37 goals. Obviously, Khalid Jamil was coach, but never been prolific goal scorers. That season that they won the Shield, didn't score too many then either. 21 goals in 20 matches back in 2020-21. It's a side that's been built on a strong defensive unit right back to the Steve Coppell days when they first entered the ISL.
The team's known as the Steelmen. You're going to build yourself around a solid defence.
What's your philosophy as a coach? Would you rather have 1-0 wins, or would you rather be winning games 3 and 4-0 or 5-4, or what's the philosophy?
I think I've evolved over the years, Mark. I think I started off wanting to probably down that win it 5-4 kind of mentality and play attacking football. I think it's sometimes a little bit easier as a coach to probably just set yourselves up and coach the attacking side of the game. It's a little bit more difficult to grind out the results sometimes, but you feel if you're going to go on to win silverware and especially win league titles, you have to be solid defensively. Very, very rarely will you see sides that go on to win the title being the ones that concede the most number of goals, a large number of goals. I think it's an important aspect as coaches evolve, and I think we see the difference in experience with the two coaches. That's what we spoke about before the game. Owen Coyle knows what it takes to win this league. I think we always felt if Sporting Delhi could keep a clean sheet in games and build towards that this season, have the attacking out players, they have the ability to score goals. We saw that even from the very first game. They're an attractive side to watch, to commit men for. They've got very, very exciting players, but can they defend?
Messi bully had to release that one early. Sana was a little bit too far behind the play. As Gerald Isom's whistle brings the first half to a close. A good half for Sporting Club Delhi, playing in their home city for the first time. It was Joseph Sunny who got the only goal of the game after good work from the captain Gogu, who managed to get the cross in, but disappointing from Albino Gomes to push the ball out. Half time, Sporting Club Delhi 1, Jamshedpur 0.
Depan Northeast Krisa Mohon Tinaak rehat na 20 kay 0 kana ko ko nyanyal ko na West Bengal hilak lakha tate nyanyal ke bako hej dana mana kurang support ko ढेर gap se attack ke arah bako hijik bana north side to ka hijik ge bang north side to Guwahati iya location yang dagawa Assam दिल्ली खो मा ढेर iya te Hyderabad खो मा ढेर player ko tahen kan bang उनको banuk ko into hang Ayush Odhikari bang
It was a battle in that first half, but Sporting Club Delhi got through to half-time with a 1-0 lead given to them by Joseph Sunny midway through the first half. Can they hold on for their first win in the ISL? Well, they got Usman Fane making his first start, Chunga Hamar in for a first start as well, but it was Jamshedpur looking to put a little bit of pressure early on. There was Nora Fernandez punching the ball straight up in the air. Fane looked lively, had his first shot on target, and they traded shots early on, Brad. It was long ranges for both teams really for the first 10-15 minutes or so.
Yeah, it seemed not much of a contest in the beginning. Both teams just trying to suss one another out. We just felt that when Jamshedpur were getting the ball in wide areas, they just didn't commit enough men forward into the attack to support the likes of Messi. He was isolated at times, but just the playing conditions, the rain, the ground, you always felt it's going to be a set piece or possibly a mistake that was going to lead to the goal. And that's exactly what happened. Gogoi got himself into a good position, put the cross in on a wet surface. Keeper made a mistake. On a drizzly day, it was a sunny finish.
It certainly was. It's almost a handball by Pranay Halder as well. Would have been interesting if that hadn't gone in. But yeah, good finish, Joseph Sunny, who scored against Jamshedpur last season. And gets another one against the Red Miners for his new team, who ironically are wearing red. Well, Sanan has always looked lively. Messi Bully looking for the target. Again, another long-range shot pushed out of the harm's way by Nora Fernandez. Better goalkeeping from the Sporting Delhi keeper. Sanan again doing well to get to the byline, looking for Messi Bully, but the ball eventually given as a free kick after, which looked fairly innocuous from Messi Bully. Here are the numbers from that first half. 52% possession to Jamshedpur. 8 attempts for Owen Coyle's side. Only 2 on target. 3 on target for Sporting Club Delhi, including the one that scored the goal. But it was a well-worked goal, and all credit to Gogu, who had a couple of players around him, but still managed to get the crossover.
Yeah, he did well, and that's what you want to do. Put the ball in a dangerous area. Defenders not sure whether the keeper's going to come out. Defenders aren't there to clear it. Wasn't really much danger if Albino Goins hadn't got anything to it. If he'd stayed on his line, you feel Pratik Chaudhary would have cleared the ball. And if you're going to come out as a goalkeeper, you've got to get either catch that. He's punched it straight into Pranay Halder. His body shape was in the wrong position, ricocheted off of him. As Babovic tried to control it, Sunny pounced. And sometimes that's what it is. Joseph Sunny, right place at the right time. Just one shot. Tried to dribble a lot with the ball, but most importantly, he's got the goal.
Well, Gogu wears the captain's armband. Was at Churchill Brothers last season, and coming into the ISL and not looking out of place at all, leading by example, and it was his cross whipped in that wasn't dealt with by Albino Gomes. But not only has he contributed going forward, but he's contributed back on defensive duty as well.
Yeah, not around captain's performance. An experienced player, over 100 games in the I-League for Churchill Brothers. And that's that experience that he brings to this defensive side of Sporting Delhi, as well as the ability to get forward and support the attacks.
It has started every game as well for Sporting Club Delhi this season. Nikola Stojanovic has been putting balls into the box, spreading the play around in midfield, but hasn't really created much or come up with that killer pass into the final third. They're missing the creative spark of Mehdi Talal, you feel. But they have given a lot of free kicks away, and that could cost them if they continue to do that in the second half. Just that one shot from Nikola, a couple of crosses. So he does tend to take the set pieces, the corners, the free kicks, but just needs a little more quality on the delivery. Well, this is what's available. The man at the bottom of that list for Delhi, Julio Rivas, could be the first Paraguayan to play in the ISL if he comes on. The Ayman and Azar twins are also on the bench as well. Sure, we'll see one or two of those players in the second half, which is coming up next.
दो मिनट और 2 मिनट Rangkap tiga bang Raknya rangkap live bang the PK on the one ᱜᱤᱫᱤ ᱟᱯᱟᱱ ᱯᱟᱨᱱᱟ ᱫᱚ ᱵᱟᱭ ᱛᱤᱠᱤᱱ ᱥᱮᱱ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ Rayar baris ᱫᱟᱜ ᱦᱤᱡᱩᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ आ गया भाई अंदर
Welcome back to the JLN Stadium in Delhi, where the rain has got slightly
बारिश
heavier.
आ रहा है बारिश
But to use Prad's pun from the first half, it's sunny if you're a Delhi fan, thanks to Joseph Sunny's first goal of the season. And work to do for Jamshedpur in the second half. I'm sure Owen Coyle will have let his feelings be known in that dressing room. He's not a man who likes to lose, and he certainly won't want to lose two in a row.
Certainly not, and the manner in which they're playing would certainly be cause for concern for Owen Coyle. Surprisingly, we haven't seen any substitutions, and whether that's an impact that the coaches want to see, want a reaction from the players to what's been said at half-time. Sometimes you just say, I'll give them 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes before bringing the changes. And we looked at the graphics at half-time with the likes of Nikolaj Stojanovic, an impressive player over the years, but really disappointing in that first half, both in terms of the output one would expect, especially with the likes of Mahdi Talal missing. Expected a lot more from him to step up in the second half.
Gerald Islam is the referee. And the way the pitch was heavy in places in the first half, this rain is going to make it a little bit heavier, particularly in a couple of the corners. Sanan missed a glorious opportunity in that first half. Probably Jamshedpur's best chance. Sanan trying to get away from his man. Mark Zoe outside him. The challenge by Hudu. Ball whipped in, takes a flick, headed back across by Manvir. Again, Owen Coyle will feel that is a chance missed. I'm sure Manvir was trying to go for goal.
Yeah, certainly got a glorious opportunity, and that's probably how they're going to have to look to get back into this game. You look at the rains coming down steadily. The wide areas are going to get a little bit waterlogged, a little bit tricky to play on to the likes of Sanan, who's been impressive in this game. Probably the most impressive player from Jamshedpur's side. He's going to have a little bit of trouble twisting and turning in this wet outfield. So getting the ball into the box could be their best way.
Stojanovic to take the referee on almost there as well. Reita Shikawa. Now Mark Zoe. You see that far corner looking very, very soft. I'm sure they'll want to try and keep the ball out of there. Here's Pratik. Nikhil Bala. Frustrating night so far for Owen Coyle. Double header for you tomorrow. Mohun Bagan against Mumbai's the late game. Before that, North East United against Odisha. Kerala Blasters in action on Saturday against Punjab. Of course, we've got an international break coming up after Monday's East Bengal Mohammedan game. No more ISL till the 4th of April. Interesting to see who makes the India squad for the game against Hong Kong.
Interesting to see some of the young players who've impressed over the last couple of weeks in the ISL as well as the IFL, and whether there'll be a decision to bring in a younger group of players. You see the Hong Kong game, not much at stake. India cannot qualify from the position they're in the table.
Chunga Hamar's free kick, but too much bend, too much pace on it. So, Messi Bully, now Sanan. Again, well, the surface has just beaten him there, just got his studs caught in the soft ground. You can see he looks soft from even here. I don't know what it's like to play on, but clearly that's what happened there.
That's what we were just moments earlier talking about, saying Sanan has been their most impressive player, is going to struggle because of that particular part of the field. And this is where you wonder sometimes whether these young professionals have that sort of experience, have the extra pair of boots in their bag, the longer studs required when you're playing on this kind of a surface, especially if you're a winger. It's all about dropping the shoulders, little jinx one way or the another, and if you've got those molds on, you're going to be struggling to get any kind of a grip on the surface.
Can you still get metal screw-in studs these days?
You can still get them, not easily available in this part of the world, but they are available. You can get the longer ones, which the way this rain's coming down, the way we've seen this field, this pitch has needed a few more weeks to get up to the level where we've become accustomed to. So it certainly isn't the best playing surface in the ISL. It's certainly not going to be helped by these rains.
Stephen Eze going in with a challenge. Tommy Chores felt that was a foul. There's Pratik. Yeah, the boot debate surfaced last season when North East played their games at Shillong, and the dew on the pitch towards the end of the game made it very slippery. But here it's very soft. Here's Nikhil Bala. Bit of space now for Manvir, looking to try and release this early. Not a good ball in, away by Manoj. Stojanovic looking for Messi Bully, couldn't get away from Alex Saji though. There's Adrian that one back over the top, and Nora Fernandez, the quality of the game, I think due to the state of the pitch at the moment, is just taken a little bit of a nosedive at the start of the second half. Maybe both teams are going to have to be a bit more direct.
It's a question about which teams can adjust the best to these conditions. What players do they have on the bench that could come on and possibly make an impact or be better suited for a change in that game start.
Agustin looking to get to the byline. Nikhil Bala slides in. Didn't need to make the touch. Just overrun that one out. Agustin.
Yeah, just look at the Jamshedpur bench. Really many options for Owen Coyle to bring on in terms of creativity. Maybe the likes of Sri Kutan or Rosenborg Gabriel. The obvious one, I think, in these conditions, you normally would have thought Ritvik Das would be one to come on and cause some problems. Just another winger on this surface might not be able to get the best out of him on this surface.
Some of the players they lost, of course, after last season: Javier Severia, Jordan Murray, Javi Hernandez, another creative player. Did sign Mehdi Talal, a player that Owen Coyle wanted when he was at Chennai in, but couldn't get him, and that might have been a swinging point in Owen Coyle's return to Jamshedpur, but he's out at the moment. It's a foul on Fane, who's saying that should be a yellow card, and I think the referee is going to go, and it's almost an obligatory yellow card these days for Pranay Halder. 31 yellows to the start of this season, and that is 3 already in this campaign.
One away from a suspension. There's a long list of players who are treading that fine line.
Yeah, it's quite interesting they kept the yellow cards at 4 games. I wasn't sure whether it being a short season, they might have considered saying it was 3 for a suspension this season with only 13 matches to be played. But it is 4. Pranay now has 3.
Yeah, you're making the assumption there, Mark, that someone actually thought of that. I think the league put together so quickly. A lot of things are just copy-pasted from the last season. And a little thought has gone into certain factors. Obviously, you know that the likes of Jamshedpur will be playing more of their games at home than a lot of the other teams.
We have only seen 3 red cards this season, which is quite a low number. This is match number 36. Vinci Barreto, of course, sent off for Jamshedpur against Intakashi Valpoya, and Angusi Jr. the other night getting a red card. That's just pushed away by Nora Fernandez. Again, no one following up. Nikola Stojanovic to try and keep this alive for Jamshedpur. Pranay. Nicola has to go all the way back to Stephen Eze. Pranay Halder, Pratik. Stab forward, it's a good looking ball as well. Manvir with a little pullback. Long stretch from Ribeiro to just get a foot on that. And now Fane to bring things away. Off to Hudu. Cut out again by Jamshedpur. Messi Bully! Sliced away, but again, Delhi Seaman.
From North. Losing it as they're trying to play out from the back. This is where sometimes you just need that little bit of experience, either one of the senior players on the field or the instructions from the coaching staff to just say, let's try and play a little bit low-risk football.
Here's Messi Bully. Reita Ishikawa did well to stay on his feet there after the challenge. That was a little bit close to him from Messi Bully. Couldn't get it out of his feet. Oxo gives the ball away to Gogu. Yeah, the Nora Fernandez there was very similar to the Albino Gomes, but there was no Jamshedpur player following up to get that ball when it bounced off him. It's forward towards Nikhil Bala. That'll be a free kick. First change. the yellow card is coming on. Third appearance off the bench. Just 20 years of age. Made just one appearance last season. Right at the very end of the campaign as well. Came on in the second half against Chennai. He's replaced Pranay Halder on 3 occasions now. Away by Nikhil Bala. Nodded off by Messi Bulli, but too close to Gogu, who was caught by Reita Shikawa. And a yellow card. First yellow card of the season for him.
Yeah, it looked like Reita Shikawa appeared to sort of just pull his foot out of the way. Just clipped Gogu in the slide that he went down. I don't think there was too much contact. Gogu just milking it enough to ensure Reita Shikawa picks up a yellow card. Obviously the referees feel once you go to ground you're not in control, and that's probably what Owen Coyle is trying to explain to the fourth official. There wasn't much contact, and certainly in his opinion isn't a yellow card. But then again, most of the time when it's a yellow card, I don't think any of the coaches would agree with it.
Yeah, but the referees obviously have to take allowance for the conditions as well. Players are going to be sliding around a bit more than probably normal. It's a question of whether there's intent there to lead to the card.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. I don't think there was any intent. You've got to sometimes know your players as well. Experienced referees, you know the players, you know that. And that's Reita Shikawa. That's a Pranay Halder. You'd say, all right, that's a yellow card straight away. Jarul Islam making his debut at this level as a referee. We'll forgive him for that one.
Hammed away by Alex Saji. Mark Zoe. Sana. Gogu. Knocked on by Babovic, but again, quality's just gone out of some of the passing at the moment. I think both coaches are getting a bit frustrated. Love to be able to lip read what Owen Coyle was saying to the fourth official.
You could just see that, Mark. As the ball came to Bobbled. As he's trying to take a touch, you can see the ball as it's going across the field. It's just not rolling smoothly. Very difficult for players to get control. It's very difficult to carry the ball. Probably going to see the remaining 30 minutes of the game a lot of mistakes, a lot of mispasses. It's just a matter of which team makes less of them, or less of them doesn't make them in dangerous areas of the field.
Well, still Jamshedpur, more of the ball, more shots, but as you can see, Sporting Club Delhi have had more shots on target. It was a turning point really in Jamshedpur's season last season. So they had that great run of 4 wins in 5 at the start of the campaign, then lost 3 in a row to North East United, Chennai and Mohun Bagan. And it was very much a kind of inconsistent period for them. Obviously it was a longer season. There's no real time for inconsistency this year if you want to be challenging at the top of the table. This was a really good chance, and still might be for Owen Coyle's side, to keep the pressure on Mohun Bagan, who obviously dropped points for the first time last weekend.
Yeah, I think from a league point of view, you want to see a good battle at the top between the top sides.
Another ball in which is comfortable for Nora Fernandez. Mambi's got wide on occasions, but not really having that quality delivery into the box at the moment.
Yeah, I think there's always, when you put a player as a number 9, both in terms of what he wears on the back of the shirt and the way he'd prefer to play in those wide areas. He's just not going to get that quality that you require, and that's what it be. Owen Coyle could be a case of just going more old school, go 4-4-2, get the Ritwik Das down on the right flank, have Manveer alongside, or maybe somebody alongside Messi Bully, just give them a few more options in the middle of the box, so when these crosses do come in.
Sanan looking for Messi Bully. Nicola Stojanovic trying to get away from his man. Mark Zoe. Messi Bully's there again, but just running across him. Just out of the reach of Messi Bully once again. We are going to see a couple of changes from Sporting Delhi in a moment. Isaac and Rivas, the new boy coming on, only signed yesterday. Mark Zoe just showed too much of it to Hudu. Don't seem to mention Hudu's name too much, but he does a really good job of breaking things up in holding midfield role. Alongside Fane tonight for the first time. Now the changes will be made. Joseph, the goal scorer, is going off. Fane has also gone off as well. Rivas becomes the first Paraguayan to play in the ISL. Had been playing with Adnik Bhatti, an Indian-born player at his club ABB in Bolivia. I'm sure he would have asked his advice because Bhatti actually played for BGS International School, which is based in Delhi. So he'll probably say, well, what's it like? Should I move there? Well, he's here. Let's see what he has to offer Sporting Club Delhi. Sanan. Good ball in again towards Messi Bully, away by Ribeiro. Manveer. Can't get that ball in with any great pace once again, and Sporting Club get the ball out of the way. There is Rivas, tussling away with Pratik. Isaac coming up for just the second appearance of the season.
Isaac, vast experienced player, played at FC Pune City, Chennai's quite the journeyman in the Indian Super League. It's a really impressive midfielder coming through at Shillong Najong. Just like we're talking about Manveer not being best suited out wide, a lot of times Isaac's been played out wide, and when you can play him through the middle, you get the best out of a player of his quality and his attributes. It just looks like Thomas Trout's probably dropped into maybe a 4-4-1-1 with Babovic playing a little bit deeper.
Away by Ribeiro. Just finds its way through to Chungama. Still that Joseph Sunny goal separating the teams. He's gone off, of course. Win for Sporting Delhi would take them above the Kerala Blasters and Odisha, who've only played 3 games so far. Odisha in action tomorrow against North East United. And I'm sure TG Prasottaman would rather have the points on the board than the games in hand. Over the top towards Messi Bully. Tried to chest that one back to Reita Shikawa. Rivas. Just holding off the tensions of Mark Zoe. Flick back to Augustine. Hudu. Nice reverse ball here for Gogu, but just beats him into touch. Rivas did well there, held the ball up.
Yeah, I think that's clever signing, clever substitution at this moment in the game. Just recognising that we need to make sure we have target up front to make sure the ball can stick, and obviously with Fane probably not yet at match fitness, coming in for his first start play, probably couldn't play 90 minutes, so they needed to have an option to bring off from the bench. Just make sure you can either see this game out, you lose a little bit in midfield with Fane going out, so Babovic will have to drop a little bit deeper, but the idea probably is that let's try and get the second goal.
That's a foul against Ray Teshikawa. Owen Cole's about to make another couple of changes in a bid to try and get back into this one. We are going to see Ritwik Das and Sartak as well coming on to add a little bit of experience. Foul went against Ray Teshikawa then. Changes coming up then. Manvir goes off. Mark So is the other player to go off as well.
We thought we'd see Ritwik Das, and we were struggling in that wide area, but I got a feel from Manvirans to play in an unfamiliar position, an unfamiliar role. And if this does still solve that problem that Jamshedpur are having of just a lack of support around Messi Boli, is rather isolated all evening. Sartak slotting into a more natural right wing, right back position.
By Ray Teshikawa, but too much on it once again. Messi Bully wanted it played into feet. Easy for Nora Fernandez.
That's what's up the Gulwi on now. They've got a little bit more of an aerial presence from set pieces. Also have possible long throw option.
Scored 4 goals in the last half an hour in matches so far, Jamshedpur this season. Jungahama. Pratik coming across.
Yeah, you can just see the subs will come on, just struggling to sort of get to grips with the surface. Yeah, just after Golowi doing well not to bring Jungahama down on that occasion.
Just kept in by Manoj, but direction on the ball. Ribeiro. Rivas. Challenged by Pratik, who won the ball cleanly. Nice reverse ball for Nikhil Bala, who switched sides now. Can he get the quality on the ball in? Looking for Messi Bully. Nearly down into the middle, away by Ribeiro, only as far as Nikola Stojanovic, who was just barged off the ball by Rivas. And a break on here for Sporting Club Delhi with Gogu. Wimba by Hriata. Bala tried to play that in early. Came off a Delhi player though. This could be a long 20 minutes for Sporting Club Delhi. Owen Coyle is very animated on the sideline, just keeps wanting his side to press forward. Agustin. That's tussling away with Pratik, and it was a question of who had more of the other one's shirt then, I think.
It's looking lively, Rivas, since coming on. Good hold up play, good little take up players. Let's have a look at that challenge which Alexaji on Ray Teshikawa, which incensed Owen Coyle on the sidelines.
Bully got the header, but could only just help it away. So they have got Murbagan after the international break. It's one of the first games back after the break on the 4th of April, Jamshedpur. Because we're almost halfway through the season already. This shortened season. Sporting Club Delhi will be here again for their first game back after the break against the Kerala Blasters, who are struggling themselves on just a point at the moment. Stojanovic's header. Sporting Club would go above the Blasters if they hang on to win here. Messi bully. Came off Manoj. I think he may have got a touch on that Manoj. It has gone for a corner. Maybe with the pitch being the way it is, a set piece might be the best way to get back into the game.
Yeah, set pieces, but this is where Nikola Stojanovic has to step up. Quality of delivery really poor in the first half. Needs to give something that likes of Stephen Eze. Pratik Chowdhury can go and run onto it, can go and attack.
He's tried to play that short to Nikhil Bala and he's got it completely wrong. Nikola Stojanovic. It was Sartak just barging into Agustin. That's given away to Rivas, and there might be a break on here for Sporting Delhi, but Nikhil Bala was the furthest man back, helps it back to Albino Gomes. You think with the conditions being like this and a slippery ball that Jamshedpur would have just wanted to get that ball from the corner straight into the box and try and put Nora Fernandez under pressure.
Yeah, that's why you just think of the way, the way they're playing at the moment. The surface, the conditions, the scoreline, everything is dictating that ball should have been played straight into the box to give the chance to the likes of Stephen Eze. You wonder where that decision making is coming from. Surely players have to take responsibility.
Nice touch off to Agustin. Look for goal himself, pushed wide by Albino Gomes. Rivas had just pulled away into space, but Agustin decided to go for glory and forces a save from the goalkeeper. Another good effort on target.
Yeah, good combination between Babovic and Augustin. Just cutting inside, Stephen Eze getting his shot off. Albino taking no chances, had to palm that away for a corner. Coming on for him.
Stepped away by Sana. Bully goes down, not for the first time tonight.
It's a tactical foul from Isaac Valmalsama. Recognising he had to take one for the team.
Bit of cramp here, I think, for Junga Hamar. I think that will be the drinks break in the second half as well. Mohamed Azhar is coming on for Thomas Chaw's side. Of course, the twins moving from the Blasters at the start of the season. Has started every game prior to tonight, Mohamed Azhar, but he'll get 15 minutes. Owen Cole's got a yellow card for something. Won't worry too much about that. He's had a fair few of those in his career. But can he get his side back into this? That's the problem, and that's the frustration for Owen Coyle at the moment.
Yeah, just look at the substitutions that have been made. Obviously, Lazar Sirkovic, more of a centre-back at this stage of the game. Would he take the gamble of playing Sirkovic at the back in place of Stephen Eze, pushing Stephen Eze into almost playing as a second centre forward alongside Messi Bully? Certainly will cause confusion and difficulty at the back for Sporting Delhi.
And certainly having another word with the referee.
रेड कार्ड
And the fourth official, Shantan Agrawal. It's going to be Chunga Hamar that's going off, the man who replaced Mohamed Azhar in the starting lineup tonight for Delhi. Well, they've got their colours on, and at the moment they're 15 minutes away from a win. Isaac has gone into the book for something.
I think Isaac must have gone into the book for that earlier challenge on Messi Bully.
Looks like Sirkovic is going to play more advanced than a centre-back. At some point they will push one of the big men forward. Mohamed Sanan looking for Messi Bully. Handball. He just dragged that down with his arm, I think. Alex Saji got the ball away, but Messi Bully claiming that Saji was fouling him. Good battle between those two.
Yeah, really well contested. So he did have his arms in a risky position on Messi Bully's shoulders, but certainly will need a lot more than that to really bring him down. Just clutching at straws at time, you feel, Jamshedpur. But even just looking at that picture at the moment, you look at Messi Bully's positioning, you wonder why, or at what point will they change and try and bring a little bit more support into him. He's feel he's rather isolated, been fouled a lot, but didn't really have enough support around him to bring other players into the game. And obviously with Ray Tachikawa having gone off injured, I wonder, playing this 4-4-1-1, what it appears at the moment, will they be able to get some back in this game?
Yeah, it's a role that a lot of coaches favour the 4-2-3-1, but it does leave your striker very isolated up front on his own. There's Messi Bully in a tangle again with Alex Saji, who does foul him this time. You just wonder, a Messi Bully maybe playing alongside a Sanan, big man, small man, front two, possibly a bit more effective. I don't know. I'm not a coach, so
You certainly feel that at times, and even if you look at this occasion, this is where Sporting Delhi needs to be a little bit more careful. There wasn't really any threat in behind Messi Bully. You don't need to bring him down and allow this opportunity to put the ball into the box.
Riata with a free kick, looking for Prati, who's at the back. Another corner. Stojanovic got the last one wrong. Let's see if he can fare a little bit better this time. They've got some height in there now. Messi Bully, Sirkovic, Prati, Eze. Better delivery, but not such a great header back. Nicola to re-deliver once again. Everybody in red back inside the penalty area. Nikhil Bala, just caught. Will be another free kick. That's quite away from goal. I don't think it'll be a shooting chance. We saw Nicola try one in the first half that was really lacking pace and direction, but he's certainly shaping a little bit closer, I think, than that one was, but four-man wall to contend with. Here he goes, up and over. Just dipped again, but Nora Fernandez had his body right behind him, but probably worth a try in these conditions with a slippery ball for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, four-man on the wall this time. He won in the wall earlier in the first half when he tried something similar. Again, just bouncing in front of the goalkeeper, trying to use the conditions to his advantage. But Nora Fernandez was up to the challenge.
Riata trying to burst through. Nicola looking for Messi Bully, away by Ribeiro. Sporting Club Delhi, 9 minutes away from a first win, 9 minutes away from a first clean sheet. Messy bully. Jamshedpur beaten by North East United in their last game. It's another foul. Babovic furious with the officials. Yellow card for him.
Yeah, his frustration from Babovic lunging into that challenge against Nikhil Barla. I'm going to come back and do his share of defending. It's going to be crucial for Sporting Delhi now, how they defend these set pieces with the likes of Serkovic, as well as Stephen Eze, Sarthak Golway. Really big side. Just have to get the delivery right, something they've struggled with all night.
Nicola once again, better this time. Fernandez just did enough to get in front of Stephen Eze and get something on that. With Das for the ball in. Another deflection, another corner. Two Delhi players down injured. Manoj is one, Fernandez is the other.
Good refereeing on that occasion. Manoj Mohammed trying to stay down in the hope that the referee would blow the whistle and nullify the threat of the second ball coming in. Good refereeing to just say play on. I see absolutely nothing wrong with Manoj Mohammed.
Yeah, Nora doing an unusual goalkeeper trick at this stage of the game. Has got a yellow card already this season. Will be another corner. Nicola to take once more. Plenty to aim for. Just hold up for a moment once more. Sixth corner of the game for Owen Coyle's side. Eze's in there. Serkovic is in there. Babovic again gets the header away. Nikhil Barla keep the shot down again. And Nicole and Sandy Stewart looking on frustrated once more.
Yeah, must be frustrated. Again, the set piece, you don't clear the first man. A number of times Babovic managed to clear the ball away at the first post. And Sanan from distance, just not able to get that ball on target. Difficult technique to get that on the ball.
Wasting is certainly something that
Keeper.
two new changes for the rules coming in on the 1st of June. I think we'll see one or two of those in the World Cup finals. Delhi are edging closer. There will be a bit of stoppage time to add on as well. It's been a game that's been played by the conditions really in the second half, but Delhi have just mastered them that little bit better, having got themselves in front. Lovely play from Agustin. Flicked too high for Babic though. Going to play for a goal kick. Another good opportunity to try and stretch their lead. You could just see Mohamed Azhar there wanting the ball played back and played short.
Of Rivas and Babovic.
Sarthak just taking that one away from Babovic. Just be happy to keep the ball in this half of the field. Nikhil Barla. Ridwick. quickly, but once again, swarming around that loose ball. It's a heavy touch from Manoj. Srkovic. Steven Eze. Rickwick. Wrestling away. Bringing down Gogu.
Customary cramp when you're 1-0 up. This way he's looking to see whether his own Coyle going to go with 3 at the back. What is he going to do to try and get more players into the box, somehow try and pull something back in this game? They've been poor. I can't really say Delhi have been a lot better. I just think in terms of at least there's a structure to what they were trying to do. Now they're looking at that. Times Jamshedpur just got a little bit lost for ideas. I wonder whether some of the changes Owen Coyle's made tonight, the fact that he's kept Stojanovic on despite having a poor game, both in terms of open play as well as set piece delivery, whether it's a case of you keep your best players on the field because of the quality they may be able to bring in into the last 5 minutes, whether there's a chance to give a youngster an opportunity.
Nikhil Bala. Prieta. Coyle just moaning about the time wasting from Sporting Club Delhi. Nicola. Still going. Took a deflection! And Jamshedpur finally find a way through. And is that the goal that denies Delhi their first win? There's only 90 seconds to go. Well, he's tried his luck from distance a couple of times tonight, Nikola Stojanovic. That time he finally finds a way through. It may have taken a slight nick to take it past Laura Fernandez. Jamshedpur won't care. They're back on level terms.
This is what we're debating. Do you keep the quality on the field because they might be able to produce a spark of brilliance, and that's exactly what he's done. There's a being pushed further forward. It looked like it was a deflection. They probably just took it a little bit inches away. That little last minute deflection just took it past the dive of Nora Fernandez. And that's the difference between the two at the moment. Just a little bit of luck not going Sporting Delhi's way.
Might be a chance for Jamshedpur to win this as well. I was just literally about to say before that the 2-2 against Mumbai would have felt like a win when they were 2 down, and was that a turning point in their season? But obviously now, I mean, a point is better than no points, but bitterly disappointed to have conceded so late. Messi Bully gets the head of Ribeiro, does well to whip that ball across. Rikwik Das looking for Stojanovic. It was a little bit short. It allows Isaac to get a foot in, but all of a sudden those white shirts just getting into some good positions.
Rikwik Das, should he have been a little bit more selfish? Could he have cut that back on his favourite right foot? Should he have taken a shot? And all of a sudden, Sporting Delhi, who look comfortable. We've spoken about how Jamshedpur typically do score between that 60th and 90th minute, and as that clock was ticking towards it, Nikola Stojanovic, you don't see him taking too many shots with his right foot.
There's Eze. Saw Owen Coyle's reaction. It's been it had been a frustrating 88 minutes for him. We're into 7 minutes added time. Minutes added in the Northeast game, and the referee only played 6 and ended up having to restart the game for an hour after Owen Coyle complained. Change for Danny Ashutosh is coming on. Gogu has gone off. And also Ebenezer King, the Ghanaian, coming on for a debut, who joined from Rajasthan United. He's an unused sub against Mumbai, but he is one of the development players in the squad. Is there time for them to have any sort of impact on the game?
I'm sure it really counts if you have your foreign player as your development player.
Babovic has gone off. Nikola Stojanovic. Bala. In towards Messi. Bully! Diving full length again, claiming he was being fouled by Ribeiro. That's a lovely ball in from Nikhil Bala, and he was only inches away from getting a touch to that.
All of a sudden it just looks like it's all Jamshedpur. Pressure after pressure. Ribeiro just doing enough to put Messi Bully off of getting a clear attempt at attacking that ball. But having come in, having a little bit of experience, a little bit of height from the set pieces at right back for Gogui. Whether it's a question of, is it all a little bit too late, closing the door after the horse has bolted.
Manosh with the throw. I'm sure he'll be bitterly disappointed. Thomas chose to get within 90 seconds. Well, there is a chunk of added time, of course, but to concede so late, it's always heartbreaking, particularly your first home match as well, when they played so well in patches. Is Sirkovic. Eze just had to react to get there ahead of Rivas. Nikhil Bala towards Messi Bully, away by Ribeiro. Bala. Sirkovic. Bobbling around. Stojanovic. Messi Bully wanted him played. There wasn't quite the pace on that. He just got caught up in the pitch, I think. But that could have been a chance for Messi Bully to go one-on-one with Fernandez. Good defending again, though.
Yes, where it comes down to mentality. We talked about it earlier on about the inexperience. Young Sporting Delhi side look comfortable for most parts of this evening. As soon as the pressure started to mount, conceded a goal, and now you can see them just retreating into a shell, trying to hold on to this lead.
The first ball down the line was looking for Kriata, but just beats him into touch. Certainly Jamshedpur would have played like this for the rest of the first half, but the second half rather. Still not happy. They've been much better in the last 15 minutes, Coyle side.
Coyle not happy. Second place, level on points with Monbegan, but having played one extra game, and I think you feel, Coyle certainly feel that was an opportunity for a little bit of pressure on the leaders.
Oh, Ritwik Das, was he caught there by Hudu? Coyle thinks he was, Ritwik thinks he was, the referee doesn't think he was. He's the man that matters.
I thought he was too. There's contact, but I don't think it's inside the box. It's probably just outside. Sadly, didn't make contact with the ball. It was contact with Ritwik Das. Have they dodged a bullet?
Eze did well, away by Ribeiro. Sana just holding on to Agustin to give the free kick away. Would be even crueler on Delhi if Jamshedpur were to get another goal now. Manoj needs to be careful. He was booked in the first half, just pushing Sanan away. Sent in towards King, but might just be chance for one more attempt here. Sartek with the throw. None of Ace this year, of course. The long throw specialist. That might have been one for him to launch into the box, but chance maybe for Agustin to come away with it. Rivas. Stephen Essays there again. By Albino Gomes. Coyle still barking out his instructions over on the far side. And I'll be watching Birmingham. Mumbai City against Birmingham tomorrow. Always tasty when those two go head to head. Of course, Jamshedpur taking on the Mariners in their next match. Lovely ball forward looking for Ritwik Das. Header from Ashutosh didn't really do what he was supposed to. It's gone for a corner. Might just be time to take this. We've already played the 7 minutes. Nicol Bala coming across to take it this time. The big men are forward once again.
In swinging corner. See really tough conditions down in that corner of the field.
Better delivery. There goes the whistle, though. There'll be no time for maybe another corner. I'm not too sure who got the last touch on that. Sirkovic certainly was in there, but well, it's probably the best corner we've seen delivered. Stojanovic had been taking them for much of the night. But a point for both teams. Joseph put Delhi in front, but that late equaliser meant the points were shared. Sporting Club Delhi 1, Jamshedpur 1.
खत्म हो गया भाई मैच। कल का मैच नॉर्थ ईस्ट वर्सेस उड़ीसा। गुड नाइट भाई, गुड नाइट। सब्सक्राइब करके रखना।